Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is your KASP legislative update for Thursday, March, what is it?
Fourth.
5th, 4th, still just the 4th. Been a long week. The legislature has basically finished its work for turnaround. There will be pro forma meetings of the Senate tomorrow, and frankly, I didn't pay attention to whether the House has a pro forma day or not. But there will be, they do, but there will be no work. We gave you a pretty good discussion, we think, yesterday about what the Senate did. Today, the House did have general orders. So, Leah, you want to kind of go through the couple bills we were following on final action and general orders?
Yes, the civics test bill, House Bill 2309, passed on final action today, 69 to 54. So just slightly over the 63 vote threshold that I believe they need to pass the bill. And then we were also watching. Do we want to go to Senate Bill 13 yet, Mark? Or
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, Senate Bill 13 is the tax transparency bill. It requires municipalities, any really entity that levies a property tax to publish a notice and allow voters to essentially protest if that entity is going to raise their mill levy above a revenue neutral rate. When this bill was introduced this session, schools were not included because we already comply with a number of publication and tax protest requirements, as you all probably know. But the body adopted an amendment today removing all exemptions from the notification requirements. So as of at least right now, the bill, Senate Bill 13, which has already been passed by the Senate, was passed by the House today and will include schools in that notification and basically tax protest hearing vote provision. So those two bills now, the two versions of the bill will have to be reconciled in conference committee, if I'm correct. Looks like Mark wants to add some context.
Well, I think you're right. It seems likely it'll go to conference. We have been trying to keep school boards out of it because, as Leah said, we're already kind of constrained. The chairman of the tax committee, Adam Smith, basically said, well, I just keep getting more and more requests for other groups that say they want to be pulled out. So rather than pulling more people out, I'm going to put everybody back in. And we'll have to see the details. The bottom line is, as we understand it, we haven't read the amendment. This does not prohibit school districts from adopting any levy, but it would require an additional level of notice and a separate hearing if your mill rate would go, or if the revenue you receive goes above your revenue neutral rate. That's probably fairly likely. So probably you will have to do this a lot, which we, again, argued we thought was kind of unnecessary. There last year were some costs associated with this. The notices there would still be, but they've created a fund for at least 2 years. The state would reimburse for those costs. So again, I think our argument is still going to be we think schools should be left out, but unfortunately, this was a quick movement today. It was adopted with almost no debate, and then it was done on final action. So the House has spoken. So the next opportunity would be trying to talk to conferees, and we'll keep you posted on that. Might also note that the House today did pass their version of the disaster health emergency provision, House Bill 2416. And that will now, the Senate has passed theirs. They're different bills. We're hearing there will be an attempt to bundle those together in a conference committee report on yet another bill. So the numbers may keep changing, but that may mean there will not be the kind of normal process of the House has Senate hearings on the Senate bill and the Senate has hearings on the House bill. It may all be worked out in conference. Those often make us very nervous, so we'll be watching that as best we can. Would also note a couple of things. There are a number of bills that we were watching, some that we were supporting that did not get passed by the turnaround deadline. So now we're looking at bills that may be made exempt or blessed under the nomenclature. We already know that the Senate has made the at-risk bill 271 is exempt. Another bill
173
or I'm sorry, that's what 173, the at-risk bill. Although they didn't work it, it will still be alive. That's true of several other bills, but they have not done that yet to Senate Bill 31, which is the bond and interest Fort Leavenworth change that some of you have been following. We'll be watching for announcements tomorrow on what the House does. Typically, the House strikes a lot of bills from the calendar, just kind of gets rid of them. But other bills, and the big one we suspect, House Bill 2119, the funding private school remote learning bill, we believe, we've heard, will be sent to an exempt committee to make exempt and could be taken up next week. So let's talk a little bit about that. Who wants to go first? Sorry to just throw that out. Guys, I'm just watching the time. I will start by saying we now have the opportunity over the weekend till next Wednesday when the legislature comes back, and some legislators will be home. This is a great opportunity for school leaders to talk to all House members, and probably doesn't hurt to brief the Senate a little bit on any concerns you have about that bill, which we kind of list as three. One, it's important to get the funding because the bill now contains the final installment of the Gannon School Finance money following the Supreme Court's, the agreement that was made between the legislature and the Supreme Court. Number two, though, it adds both the tax credit private school expansion and the new education savings account program that both have come out of the House committee but have not been worked on the floor, and new provisions that would limit how many days schools could be in a remote learning and how many hours a student could be in remote learning without losing funding.
That's right. And I think I think you should take this opportunity. I think some of your legislators may be having legislative coffees or, eggs and issues or whatever this weekend. So this is your opportunity. This is what we've been building toward all session. We have a plethora of information out there for you. This is your chance. Go do it.
Scott, what will we be sharing today?
Well, we have your dissection of the bill and a lot of the concerns that are along with the bill. And I just might add that the House, before they adjourned for the break, kind of ended on one of the legislators announced that their Republican on Wednesday talk about through 12 edition reporters and legislators about why they think the bill is good.
Yes,
so
Scott,
of course, we want to get our message
Scott,
out.
I'm going to jump in. At least I'm getting a lot of feedback. So I'm just going to quickly say, I don't know if everyone could hear Scott. I couldn't, but he had told us earlier that the House has announced that the Republican caucus will be caucusing, basically having the whole party together to talk about K-12 education on Wednesday, the day they get back, which would appear to be setting them up for the debate and discussion on this bill. All the more reason for you to get in there and talk to your legislators and try to help answer their questions and anticipate some of the discussions they'll be having by the information you can provide. And we'll be putting in our news briefs tonight and circulating tomorrow, kind of a list of talking points and suggested areas for you to prepare to have these conversations. And of course, if you have any questions for us, please let us know. Guys, I'll just tell everyone we will be anticipating our normal noon tomorrow weekly wrap up in more detail. We'll hope to have more information, but as always, feel free to send us any questions that you might have. Just about out of time. Any last minute comments we need to make, guys?
I need a new internet provider.
We need a new internet provider for Scott. Get him back in the office, whatever it may be. We'll hope to see many of you tomorrow at 12:30, or view our recorded 12 and or watch the show over the weekend. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.